Oh, everybody, I'm back. Just went through a couple of things, just kind of thinking of better ways of doing this, kind of just what my opinions come out. Welcome to another episode. Still no name, obviously, but I couldn't care less. I guess really what we're gonna be talking about today is the current GM search of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Leaf sweater, jersey. Um, The GM search is sounds like it's almost done, and it looks like the next GM. It's not fully proven yet, but the next GM is going to be possibly Cheka. That's right. If you guys aren't familiar with that name, John Chayka or Chayka. He used to be the general manager of the Arizona Coyotes from 2016 to 2019. He's known for he was the youngest general manager ever at the age of 26. Um, he's known for being he's known for a couple of things. One was the draft scandal, illegally illegally doing tests on draft rookies that he wanted to draft, of course, like doing illegal combines and stepping down before their first playoff appearance in a very long time. It was it was a rain to kind of forget, and he had to be reinstated, and hasn't been in any hockey organization really since Arizona or Utah now. Hasn't been in any hockey capacity. He's more of a businessman now. He's an owner of like 40 Wendy's restaurants. It just doesn't. I don't understand. I kind of understand because Keith Pelly wants to go to the analytics side of being general manager, and just to me, analytics is a bit can be a bit too much. And the way that he ran that Coyotes team, it wasn't very good. So I'm going to go through some history of John Chaika for those of you that don't know. A history of some trades that he made with the as general manager of the Arizona Coyotes. This, by the way, was when he was 26 years old. So his first trade was in 2016, June 16th. Goligoski, he gets Goligoski from Dallas for a fifth-round pick, which, yippee. Some other notable deals that he made. He was around during the time when the Coyotes were taking on a lot of, let's say, guys that weren't praying anymore and were pretty much just dead cap. So he would take on those guys for, I guess, really like first round, like for draft picks, for draft capital. And one of the notable ones was acquiring Pavel Datsyuk in a first round pick from Detroit. And that first round pick ended up being 16th overall in 2016, which was Jacob Chychrun. He actually turned out pretty well for Arizona, but he didn't like it there, so he got traded to Ottawa. Now he's on Washington. He gave up Joe Vitale, which, okay, that's not bad. A 2016 first round pick, which was Dennis Cholowski, and a 2016 second round pick. Don't know what that second round pick turned into, but I'm sure it was some nobody. A few other small trades. Oh, here we go. Here's a big one here. Arizona acquires Brandon Hickey, Chad Johnson, and a third round pick in 2018. It was on June 17th for Mike Smith. Mike Smith was going to be a free agent at the time. Arizona wasn't willing to offer him a contract, which made kind of, well, they were trying to, I guess, be rebuilder, but they weren't. They were just trying to stay above water when it came to money wise. So they would make these trades that just made no sense. So like you trade your star goalie Mike Smith, who's going to be a free agent, and then you go ahead a week later and you make the trade to get Derek Stepan and Antti Raanta. Because you thought Antti Raanta would have been your next like big goaltender coming up. It just, to me, that just didn't make sense because you could have just easily have re-signed Mike Smith and you would have had your goaltender there. Of course, this was the Arizona Coyotes and they were very cash strapped, which still made no sense because I think they extended Antti Raanta after that for a lot of years, and he just was an injury-prone goaltender. And then on the same day to get Antti Raanta, they go ahead and make the trade for Nicholas Hjalmarsson, giving up Warren Dauphin, and Connor Murphy. Connor Murphy stays on Chicago for a very, very, very long time. Nick Hjalmarsson, I think he gets injured and doesn't last very long in Arizona. So that was another not so good deal by Arizona. Um, not much other, not much trades there on the second page. Oh, actually, there is. Um, he then in 2018, January 10th, 2018, he trades. He acquires Richard Panik and Ron Dauphin. Dauphin's back on Arizona for Anthony Duclair and Adam Clendening. Panik and Dauphin don't last long in the NHL. Duclair is still praying. He's on the Islanders now. Another trade that you just go, what are you doing? What trade is this? Oh, and then here's an awful one. Arizona acquires Alex Galchenyuk. Remember that name, people? He used to be a third goal scorer in Montreal. And Montreal acquires Max Domi. Galchenyuk is currently, I believe he got deported or is facing jail time for something. I think it was assaulting a police officer, like spitting on him, that kind of thing. Max Domi, yeah, he's still in the NHL. He's playing on Toronto. should be gone from Toronto, should be traded, but that's a whole different story for another day. And then a month later, he makes a huge deal with Chicago again. He loved trading with Chicago, by the way. He loved doing it. He trades Marcus Kruger, Mackenzie Etzwitzel, Jordan Moretta, Andrew Campbell, and a 2019 fifth for Vinny Hinostroza, Jordan Ostery, Marian Hossa's contract, because at that time Marian Hossa had retired because of a skin condition. Like he couldn't put equipment on anymore because of this skin condition, so he had to retire. And a 2019 third round pick. I mean, that was not a bad deal. But again, he had to do it because his team was cap strapped. Well, money strapped. But they had to be cap compliant. So he would acquire guys that don't play anymore and just acquire their cap so that they could stay above the salary cap. That was Arizona's dying years, that's for sure. And then on December 25th, 2018, he acquires Nick Schmaltz, who's still on Utah. This was actually probably one of his better trades. And trades away Dylan Strome and Brendan Perini. I believe Dylan Strome is now on Washington. And he's been very good on Washington. Nothing else here. Oh, actually there is. Next one, June 25th, 2019. He acquires Carl Soderberg, who turns out to really be nothing for Kevin Connaughton and a 2020 third round pick. That is a win for Colorado just for the third round pick alone. And then he finally cuts bait from Alex Galchenyuk after a horrible campaign, and Pittsburgh really wins this deal because they also get a defenseman that helps them a little bit in Pierre-Olivier Joseph. For Phil Kessel, Dane Burks, I've never heard of you, and a 2021 fourth round pick. Yeah, that's not horrible. And then his last major deal, because Arizona was trying to make the playoffs in 2019. He acquires Terrell Hall and Greg Spears from the New Jersey Devils for Nate Schnarr, Nick Mercury, Kevin Ball, a 2020 conditional first round pick, and a 2021 conditional third round pick. I will have to look that up because that 2020 first round pick was top 3 protected. Converts to 2021. I'm pretty sure it converts to 2021. I just have, give me one moment here. 2021 NHL draft. Yep, 2021 NHL draft. Just give me one moment here. Like, I'm just going through the history of trades that John Chayka made. This was the Owen Power draft that this became. So if I have this correct, which I don't think I do, that 29 New Jersey selects Chase Stillman. So that doesn't end up to be like a horrible selection. I actually have to like. Okay, can. Oh, I just remembered that. So, so I have to go to 2020 draft because the 2021 draft, Arizona's pick was voided because of a certain scandal that John Chayka was involved in. The one that I told you earlier about the whole uh, uh, illegal like combine stuff. Yeah, that thing. Yeah, that thing. Uh, he tested rookies without really notifying anybody, like the NHL, like illegally tested them. So yeah, uh, yeah, and had a couple of draft picks taken away from him because of it. And before that was even able to happen, he ended up resigning. He resigned from the position a year after they extended him. A year after they extended him. Like, how much more uh, sad does it have to be that you resign after you get extended because of all this stuff? Face it as a real man. Okay? There we go. Aha! Found it. So that pick, which was top 3 protected in 2020, turns out to be number 18, and New Jersey selects Dawson Mercer. That's right. Dawson Mercer, who's a pretty good part of the New Jersey Devils. Yep. To me, John Chayka is not. To me, he fits what they're trying to do when it comes to analytics, but I just don't think that he's the right general manager. He hasn't been a general manager since before the pandemic. And I just don't think that he should be getting a second chance, especially uh, with the whole scandal. Now, on to the other part. I'm going to talk about this quick because I'm going to keep this segment short. Matt Sundin. Um, that's what they're rating for. They're rating to see if a decision is going to be made from Matt Sundin on what position he's going to take. And it sounds like the position is going to be vice president of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Not a bad choice, really. I feel like it's probably good to have some kind of alumni there. But if I were the Leafs and I would hire Sundin, I wouldn't hire John Chayka. There's a bunch of other guys that you've talked to. You've talked to freaking Mike Gillis. Mike Gillis is a guy that I would probably hire over John Chayka. But John Chayka sounds like he's going to be the next general manager of Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, it's not fully confirmed. There are still a couple other names out there that have been assistant general managers. In my opinion, you probably have your general manager already in Brandon Quittem as well. Why don't you hire him? He's been with the organization for a long time. He's one of the guys that helped create the salary cap. Like the language in the salary cap. He's been with you guys for a long time, and now you're not going to give him a chance. You're not going to give him a chance to be the general manager. A guy that knows the salary cap. A guy who knows loopholes in the salary cap. You're not going to give him a chance being general manager? Okay. He'll be assistant general manager for now. I'm sure some team's gonna go, hey, Quittem, would you like to be general manager of our club? I wouldn't be surprised if he says yes. I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes a general manager. I wouldn't be surprised. He's the co-GM right now. But you need a single GM. And he's just not going to be that single GM. Right now. He should be. But he won't. Because the Maple Leafs just don't want to do anything straightforward. I don't think they ever will. You need to change your culture. And they feel like Sundin can do that. Which I think he could. But what could also change your culture is firing your coach. But that's up to the general manager. And whoever is the general manager should fire Craig Berube and bring his own guy in. It just wouldn't make sense. If you're hiring a new general manager, it just would not make sense in having the old regime guy as your coach. If you want a new regime, if you want new people in, hire new people. And you could see by the end of the season, the players couldn't give a shit. The players couldn't give a shit. The coach couldn't give a shit. They just didn't have it. They didn't have it all year. And I think that's Spurs' fault. That's the coach's fault. That's the general manager's fault. I think there needs to be a new regime. And that starts up top. But we'll find out within the next couple days, weeks, months about what's going to happen. Anyways, weather up here, it's not winter anymore. Sun's out. It's been beautiful up here. Any friends of mine that are watching this from back home, come on up. Come on up. Come on up here. It is beautiful up here. Anyways, this has been me, Kirk Hardiman. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. My social media links are up in my channel description. And we'll see you next time. Hopefully sooner this time. Hopefully sooner. We'll see you later.